Okay, so good evening, everyone. Hopefully we are now live within the group. Just takes a little while for the stream to show up. Okay, so hopefully a number of you will have been able to watch the video posted yesterday, as well as catch up with the post that I put on the group this morning, maybe as well as reading the email that was sent out this morning as well, with an overview as to what to expect from today's workshop. And hopefully you managed to make a really decent list of some of the goals that most interest you and are most important to you, that we can now start to look at refining and defining by using a couple of frameworks that I'll introduce to you today. So the reason for trying to refine and define goals is to try and make those goals more achievable, to make them more measurable, and to increase the likelihood that you will be able to make a difference and that you'll be able to stick to the plans that you make. So to give an example, you could call a bad example of a goal, for example, be healthy. Be healthy is just too wide and too woolly. You really need to start to decide, how do you want to be healthy? Whether it's physically healthy, whether it's eating healthy, whether it's getting sleep. What's going to feed into that larger goal? Another example is be successful. How are you going to be successful exactly? What are going to be the things that will feed into your success? Is it the fact that you reach a certain stage in your career? Is it the fact that you get promoted to a certain level or get paid a certain amount? What exactly is successful? And another example is make more money, or have more money. This is, there's nothing wrong with that as a goal, but it needs a lot of definition. It needs, how much money do you mean? In what sort of time frame are we talking? Have more money within the next 5 years, within the next 10 years, within your lifetime. It's important to be able to put some parameters around your goal, put some structure around your goal. Okay, so let's look at how we can start to do that. And the first framework I'm going to talk about is the SMART framework for setting goals. And we've updated it to call it SMARTer. So SMARTer goal setting is essentially, it's a way of putting your goal into a sentence. And that's useful, and then it helps you define your goal. Okay, so I'm going to take you through each of the letters within this acronym one by one, and then we'll be able to look at a couple of examples of SMARTer goals so that you can measure yours up against them. So the first is specific. S is for specific, which means that you should pin down a clear, tangible idea of what you want to achieve, or pinpoint a specific area for improvement. Okay. The next is measurable. M is for measurable, because all goals need some kind of yardstick, otherwise we'll never know if they're successful or not. So we need to have some kind of number attached to the goals that we're setting. A is for ambitious. In the traditional SMART framework, A is for attainable, but we've decided that it should be ambitious, because a worthwhile goal is one that challenges you to think big and reach outside your comfort zone. And any of you who watched the video from yesterday will know that I talked a lot about goals that are ambitious. R is for relevant. Think, will this goal be really good for business? Does it fit within your values or your wider plans, for example? Because as obvious as it may seem, a goal's relevance defines how meaningful it is to you. And in the examples that I give, I'll talk about relevance a little bit in terms of the goals that I've set for myself. T is for time bound. Unless you set some kind of time frame to a goal, it remains essentially a dream. And I find that there's nothing like a deadline to really motivate action. E is for emotional, because we feel before we think. And even in hard business terms, goals that come from the gut will probably have much more sticking power in the sense that you want them more. And this again was something that I said in yesterday's workshop. And R is for rewarding. So keeping the benefits of your goal in sight will really drive you on. And seeing the peak of the mountain and visualizing your satisfaction on reaching it. All goals should be rewarding, but it's especially useful to think about the kind of reward and whether it's going to be something that motivates you. So, in terms of an example, so I've got a current smarter goal that I've set myself, and it's that I will sign up 10 new clients to my new goals coaching service by April 2017. And I'll do this because it's a good source of income, because I enjoy the work and it gets clients positive results. So, let's dig into this goal and see why it's smarter. So firstly, it's specific. It's for my goals coaching service and nothing else. It's measurable, and that I'll sign up 10 new clients. It's ambitious. This is a new service, so it means I need to make a success of it and get some people on board. I'm starting it from scratch. It's relevant. I believe that coaching is a key component of helping people achieve goals. It's time bound. I've put April 2017. It's emotional, because I really enjoy this aspect of work the most. Of all the things that I do, I enjoy coaching the most. I think it's something that enables me to get a really good relationship with clients, and it helps me really understand them, and is the activity that I undertake that I think drives the best results. And finally, it's rewarding. So it's obviously rewarding financially, but it's also rewarding on a job satisfaction level for me as well. And I think it's also rewarding for people that go through it too. And then it helps them achieve their most ambitious goals. I've got a second example here. Again, this is a goal of mine. I will run 10 kilometres in 50 minutes by the 1st of July 2017. I'll do this because running acts as a keystone habit for me. I've always wanted to be good at running, and I'll value the health benefits. So again, you've got things like it's specific, it's about running, it's measurable. I've said 10 kilometres in 50 minutes. It's ambitious, so my current personal best is 56 minutes. So I think I'm going to have to run very hard to make 50 minutes for 10 kilometres. It's time bound, again, by 1st of July. It's relevant. Now, this fact that it's a keystone habit, a keystone habit is a habit that influences all the other habits that you have, or a number of other habits. Think of it like a domino effect. So I find that when I run, I sleep better, I eat more healthily, I clear my mind. So I think running is something that has tremendous knock-on effects in different areas of my life. So for that reason, I think it's really relevant for me. It's emotional, and I've always wanted to be good at running. I've never been particularly good at running, but I've always loved the idea of being a good runner. So I think this is something that's emotionally significant for me, and it's rewarding in that I will really value the health benefits. As I've said, it's got a powerful knock-on effect for other healthy habits that I have, but it's also going to significantly increase my physical fitness if I can run that fast. So that's a couple of examples of smarter goals. Another area of goal setting is another framework that you can put around goals is the OKR framework. And OKR stands for Objectives and Key Results. And this is an illustration that we had made for a recent blog post that's on our website. And the idea is that the objective is essentially the goal, and the the key results are the factors that feed into that goal. Okay, so it's important to break your goal down into individual areas. So an example would be if your aim was to, if you worked in an HR department, for example, and your aim was to measure and promote your company's culture and values, that would be your objective. And the key results that would feed into that would be get at least 50% of the company to respond to a culture survey, conduct brainstorm or feedback sessions with 5 departments, hold a weekly drop-in meeting for employees to discuss culture, and design new values and launch on the company intranet within 3 months. So these are all areas of activity that would feed into this overall objective, this overall goal. And you can see that each of those key results has a number attached. So whether it's 50%, 5 departments, a weekly drop-in meeting, or launch on the internet within 3 months. So there's measurement built into these things. And the idea with OKRs and the reason that they're successful within businesses is that they are designed to be visible to everybody. They're designed to be inherently transparent. And the idea of this is that everybody knows each other's goals. And as a result, companies can ensure that everybody is working towards the same result. A few other aspects about OKRs. They should be set as stretch goals. So again, we're hammering home this idea that your goals should be ambitious. So you might not always achieve your goals, but they foster innovation by forcing you to push your limits. So your OKR goals or your goals generally should be a little uncomfortable and slightly out of reach. And again, I think I talked yesterday about the idea of reaching 100% of your goal, meaning that maybe you weren't ambitious enough with the goal that you set yourself. So set a really, really ambitious goal so that you might only achieve 80%, but even so, that would mean that you'd achieve more than if you set a much more attainable, less ambitious goal. Again, measurable is the key factor within OKRs. So, imagine if Fitbit or one of these fitness trackers that you wear sent you an annual email with your step count. That's how a lot of companies are run today. They're run on data and figures. The recommendation is that you work on a maximum of 5 objectives at any one time, so 5 different objectives or goals at any one time, and no more than 5 key results per objective. And again, this is just to keep things manageable. And that you should set them quarterly. However, for some younger, faster-moving businesses, OKRs could be set every month or 6 weeks. And the idea is that you get feedback as well, and we'll talk a lot more about getting feedback on your goals a little bit later in the workshop. Into week 2, we talk about feedback and assessing your goals and your progress. So that's an indication of how you can start to add some structure to your goals. As I said, having quite sort of wide and woolly goals like be healthy or make more money, it's less likely to help you to put together solid plans. So the more that you can really drill down into specifically what your goal is and how you can measure it, attach a number to it, put a deadline to it as well. The more you can do things like that, the more you'll be able to make better plans, which of course is the next stage of the workshop on Thursday. So run your goals that you thought about yesterday, or maybe that you already have. Run your goals through these frameworks and think about how you can start to refine and define your goals a bit more. When do you want to achieve your goals by? And as I said yesterday, if they're quite long-term goals, maybe think about trying to break them down into shorter-term staging posts or base camps or milestones, if you like. So if you're working on something that's maybe 5 years away, break it down into a series of either 1 year or 6 month or even 3 month goals that will get you closer and closer up the mountain. Think about how mountain climbers climb Everest. They don't just start right from the bottom and go up. They have a series of base camps, a series of stages to help acclimatise themselves and to help establish themselves at different points in the mountain, different areas to aim for, because they need a number of days to climb that mountain. So think about your goal in those terms, and think about also how you are going to make your goal relevant and emotional and rewarding, because they're the factors that will really determine your staying power with delivering on these goals. They're the factors that will help to motivate you when times get tough, when things get difficult, when you come up against challenges and obstacles. So having that really strong why, that really strong emotional and meaningful significance to a goal, is something that will help you, sort of achieve it further down the line. So I think really that covers it. If there are any questions about how to set these frameworks or how to set these aspects to your goal, do leave them as a post on this video. After you've watched this video, please leave a like on it so I know that you've watched it. So I know that these videos are getting good traction within the group. And really, I think the value of having a workshop like this isn't just so you can watch videos. It's so you can submit questions, ideas, potential goals, and get feedback, not only from me, but from other members of the group. So by all means, try and share the goals that you want to work on. Try and add some shape and some definition to those goals. And let us help you, let us give you feedback in terms of how well we think that your goals fit within those frameworks, or they don't even necessarily need to cover all of the SMARTER acronym, for example. But as long as they have some aspect of measurability, some aspect of a time set to them, and a really strong why, those are the things that are going to make it much easier for you to work hard and ultimately achieve your goal. So share your goals within the group and let myself and other participants give feedback on ways that you can perhaps improve your goal, or it might give other people inspiration in areas that they're struggling with themselves. So do use this opportunity. We're in a group here where we can share ideas and share feedback. So let's see if we can do that as much as possible. So I look forward to seeing some comments on this video and some other posts within the group. And I look forward to offering help where I can. There will be a live Q&A session tomorrow, so let me know when you would like me to hold this Q&A session, when works for you best. And then I'll hold it when the majority of people are online. And if you can't be online tomorrow, then do submit your questions so that I can provide answers if you need any. Okay, so I hope this video is useful. And I hope to chat to some more of you within the group over the next few days. Thank you for watching.